Hello, welcome. Welcome to a conversation with the Center for Career Engagement. My name is Danny Pape. I'm the Executive Director of the Center and really excited to tell you a little bit about our work and how we best support students. I also have one of my colleagues here. I'm going to pass it to her to introduce herself.
Thanks, Danny. Hi, everyone. My name is Nan Barnes, and I serve as the Director of Academic Partnerships here at the Center for Career Engagement. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Nan. So we're going to share a little bit about our operation today, so you know how we're going to best support, how we best support students. We'll share a little bit about our operation, how we engage, and what are ways that incoming and first year students can really engage well with the center. So to start, to share a little bit about what we do is we work in four functions or four areas within our operation. First and foremost is our career coaching team, and they're set up via career communities. We'll tell you a little bit about that in a sec. This team engages students in one-on-one, drop-in coaching, provides workshops and programs, and really curates resources for students. Next is our employer engagement team. This team is out there proactively building relationships with our employers who are coming to campus to recruit, who are recruiting virtually, where we curate and really set up recruiting experiences for companies to help build the best brand on campus. Next is our academic and campus partnerships team, which is actually led by Nan, so we're lucky to have her here. Nan's team really proactively builds relationships with faculty and staff to help them weave career into the programs, initiatives, and curriculum that they're building. Last is our career initiatives team. This team builds programming related to experiential learning and on-campus employment, provides opportunities for students to take advantage of the summer internship fund, and then a team of folks that manage our events, our wide-scale events on campus, as well as how we build data related to outcomes and technology. So it's a little bit about our operation. Let's dive in a little bit more specifically to some of those areas. First is our career communities team. We moved to a career community model in the last couple of years where we serve students via your career interests, not what you're specifically studying at WashU. We think this really meets the needs of the WashU student who often is double majoring and minoring across the academic disciplines here on campus. What we did is we actually used data from from where our students were landing post-graduation, and we found that students were going into a variety of careers and industries, and that allowed us to make career communities based off of those industry areas. I'll share those in just one sec. These career communities provide a really curated experience around content that we provide to students, programming that we offer, including workshops, bear treks where we take students to employers, recruiting events, panels, as well as very customized career coaching where our coaches are connected to these career communities, and you can feel confident that when you're meeting with a coach in a specific career community, that they've got some knowledge that'll be helpful in those conversations. So to really outlay the career communities that we've built for our students, first is the Arts, Design, and Media career community, our business, government, policy, and social impact, healthcare and sciences, and the technology, data, and engineering career communities. The one that I'm leaving for last is our career exploration career community. This is for those students who are still trying to figure out exactly what they want to do and navigate. You can join multiple as a student. And really what it means is that you're signing up to get that curated content and programming so that you know exactly what's going on and you can take advantage of those experiences. I'd really like to highlight those specifically. We've really leaned into an early engagement model. So actually, as incoming students over the summer, you'll preference a career community as you go through the orientation process coming into WashU. And then during the orientation programming, which is typically a week before school starts, you will actually engage in a career conversation with one of our career coaches in a small group with other peers. So this proactive engagement will just naturally happen as you kind of onboard into the WashU experience. Next, I'm going to pass it to Nan, who's going to navigate us through a little bit around the career engagement process.
Yeah, thanks, Danny. So Danny already helped us to look at the macro level, how we support our students via our career communities model. So this is more at the macro level when we work with each individual student. How do we work with them? And here at the Center for Career Engagement, we developed this career engagement process that is really reflective of the work that we do with students. We wove this into our one-on-one career coaching, the workshop development that we do, our work with faculty, and just overall, how do we engage each and every career conversation. And this really reflects the journey that students take on to understand themselves, understand their interests, values, explore different possibilities that lie ahead of them, and then really put in the hard work to prepare, apply, and search, and then finally engage. So we have two student examples to share with you on how this is really look like in a career coaching conversation, for example. So here is Isabella. Like many of our WashU undergraduate students, she has different interests, and she came to us in the envision possibilities phase. So she really wanted to have a coach at the Center for Career Engagement to help her to navigate, what kind of jobs opportunities are available for her that match with her interest and values. So this is what she has to say about a career coaching appointment. And I'm going to read it for you. She says, my coach helped me find relevant internship opportunities that would help me figure out where my interests lie. They asked me questions to spark some self-reflections on how my qualities and strength might translate to particular careers. They also helped me to break down larger goals into smaller ones. And the next example we have is Rory. Rory studies economics, and he came to us in the search and apply phase, which is a popular phase that people would assume that this is what we help students with, and we do, but we start also earlier as well, as we've seen in the story of Isabella. So in Rory's words, what the career coaching appointment looked like for him was that he found regular appointments really seriously helped him improve understanding of strengths and weaknesses. So again, he is someone, and we see a lot in our students that come to us more than one time regularly to really hone in the interview story as he is getting ready in the search process. So now I'm going to pass it back to Danny to talk about internships and experiential.
Thanks, Nan. We hope those student success stories, you can often see yourself in those and really connect with how we engage students. So internships and experiential learning is a really important topic, both right now and moving into the future. And what we find is that students typically come in and they want to gain experience as they think about their fields of study. Well, that really matches what employers are looking for as well. So to share a little bit of a deeper dive into the data, let us share a little bit about how WashU students are experiencing things as well as what's going on nationally. First, 94% of WashU students rated experiential learning as important in their career success. This is no surprise, but to be able to really showcase that this is on the mind of students really helps us think about our work. And then kind of go into some national data, 43% of internships nationwide are often unpaid or there's financial barriers in place for those experiences. So us knowing that, experiential learning is important to our students, as well as there's often some barriers in place to those, we wanted to think about how we can best serve our campus. So saying that, we created a few really high impact, powerful programs that students can participate in to really make those barriers kind of make them go away as they think about gaining experience. First is our summer internship fund. This is where we provide financial awards to undergraduate students to help alleviate the cost associated with completing an unpaid or low paid summer internships. We often open up our applications in the spring semester and then start awarding those as we head into the summer. Next is our Chancellor's Career Fellows program. This is a comprehensive career education experience for students in their second year as sophomores whose family income is less than $75,000. So if they are able to get an internship that's unpaid or lower paid, we will provide a stipend for that. But really the goal is to help students navigate towards those steps to gain those experiences. Next is our Pershing Fellowship in Nonprofit Leadership. This is a paid summer internship program in St. Louis specifically, which provides a summer experience at local nonprofits programming and financial support to students interested in nonprofit leadership. So really honing in on, as you can see, a variety of industries and fields to best serve students. Outside of these, of course, our career coaches are ready to serve students who are looking for experiences that could be really powerful. We'd love to share a few stories here, similar to the last section that Nan led, around some students who have taken advantage of these opportunities. First, meet Michael. He is a political science major and took on a really cool internship with the OT Sports Group. So he was actually working for a sports agency. And as you can see, he truly gained real world experience. I'd like to call out specifically his memorable moment of he actually worked on a NHL player's contract that totaled 45.5 million, and he was the one really navigating that experience with that player and with that agent. So our students really go out and gain those experiences. You can see pictured here him with that NHL player, Matt, which is a big deal. Next is Anne Lauren. As you can see, she at that intersection of many majors. She's studying philosophy, neuroscience, and psychology. And she went and interned at Elizabeth Warren's U.S. Senator office in D.C. And as you can see from her experience, I want to call out what her highlight was from the summer, which was seeing the research that her and her co-interns worked on appeared in major news outlets like the New York Times and the Washington Post. Further down in her comments, she even commented that at first she was probably not going to apply for this because she thought she wasn't going to be competitive. And she encourages students to always put their name in the hat as they think about the types of experiences they want. So we hope these student stories are really, really powerful. Next, we're going to move our way towards employer engagement and development. This is our team that's really focused on building proactive employer relationships across the country and globe. So to really highlight, we have a team that's dedicated to building these partnerships and pipelines. And as you can see here, over the last few years, we've really increased the amount of opportunities that the WashU student can apply for and put their name in the hat. And that increase is really due to this team that is truly building relationships with these employers. So as you can see, we are working hard to bring opportunities. And even as the job market may be volatile or have some pieces that feel hard for our students, we are still seeing that when you build these relationships, that the opportunities still exist to our students. Specifically, a really key program that this team runs collaboratively across the CCE is our Bear Trek program. This is where we take students to employers in key cities, including locally, to visit with employers so that they can see what it means to work at an organization in a city. They can see the type of work that exists and what the work environments are, as well as build a network of WashU students. So we do roughly a little bit over 16 bear treks per year. Again, both traveling across the United States and here locally in St. Louis. And we have a really cool funding model for our students where if you demonstrate need, we will take care of those expenses. And so that really, really powerful access is important to us. And we've built some really great opportunities for our students. What you can see here are a few of the cities that we visited this year, and we will continue to expand and consider markets that we think are a best fit for our students. Next, we'll share a little bit about how our students do as they navigate out of WashU. And I know this is something that often incoming students and parents and friends are really interested in knowing. So this data really matters to us. So as you can see here, if you look at our undergraduate career outcomes over the last several years, they continue to rise. The WashU student does really well post-graduation as long as they put in that effort while they're here at WashU. So for the class of 2025, we just finished that data collection. And as you can see, 94% have a successful career outcome rate. Now, this includes many things, including employment, continuing education, and other things, which I'll showcase in a slide here next. As you compare that to our peers across the country, which are those bars in green and gray, you can see that we do really, really well compared to our peers. So the value of coming to WashU really can and does pay off. The reason why you don't see that comparison data for the class of 2025 is the organization that collects this data, NACE, National Association of Colleges and Employers, will release it later in the year. So we will update that via our website and the data that we put out there. So as I highlighted earlier, a successful outcome can mean many things, from employment to going on to graduate school to doing service. That this is really powerful way to showcase how amazing our students do post graduation. We collect through 6 months past graduation as a industry and national standard, and we constantly follow up with students to let them know that we're here to serve them, one, and that we hope that they'd be open to sharing their outcomes too. And we get some of the strongest knowledge rates in the country as well, close over 90%. We know what we have information on our students who are graduating. So this is really a powerful way to showcase the value. Another way to showcase value of the WashU education is how our students do with salary, starting salary. Of course, this is all students, meaning that many industries, many areas are represented in this data. As you can see in the class of 2025, we had an uptick up to $89,475. And that also, similar to our outcomes rate, is well above our peers. And so we're really proud of these data points, and we really help support students across the industries and areas that they serve. So just one other data point to showcase the value. Now, I'm sure many of you are saying, okay, I would love to maybe dive into this data a little bit more. It is actually publicly available on our website. And so if you go, you can actually do some very specific searches to things like specific schools, specific majors or programs that you're considering or thinking about. And then the data will update and showcase kind of those search parameters. So please take advantage of this awesome data set that we think tells a really unique story. Next, I'm going to pass it to Nan, who will share a little bit about what's going on in kind of the skills-based economy.
Thanks, Danny. So here at the Center for Career Engagement, we're also keeping a close eye on what's happening, in the job market, the trends that we see. So as Danny mentioned, one of those organizations that we follow is NACE, National Association of Colleges and Employers. And NACE actually did a survey. They do many surveys every year. One of the surveys is the Job Outlook survey that they did in the spring last year. And for the third year straight ahead, that employers are saying that they're only less than 40% of them are using GPA as the way for telling which talent they're interested in hiring. And actually, more than two-thirds of employers are saying that they actually use competencies or skills in almost always or most of their hiring practices. So on the screen, you can see what are those competencies employers are looking for. And this is what we call the career readiness competencies. There's 8 of them. And at WashU, we're trying to really integrate all of this into the work that we do. Not limited to one-on-one coaching, workshops, group coaching, and also how we work with our faculty and campus partners too. So here we call our career ecosystem, which means that we are really empowering everyone to really contribute to this model that we're working. So previously in the career center model, where people are often referred students to us to do career advising, career consulting, but in the career ecosystem model, which is the model that we here at WashU lean into, everyone is helping students' career success. And we truly believe this is how we can really turn students' their WashU education into a lifetime of career success, is by working with everyone. So some of our specific examples of that include our Career Innovation Faculty Fellow Program, where we work with faculty to really integrate career into the classroom. We're also launching a new initiative called the Career Partners Network this fall, where we're working with faculty and staff members to really help them understand how to help students one-on-one when students are approached them for career advice. One of the surveys from NACE from a couple years ago said that more than 90% of students actually look to their faculty for career advice. So we know this is happening, and we want to make sure that our faculty and staff members feel supported when they are being approached by students for career advice. So next, I'm going to turn it over back to Danny to close us out before Q&A.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. So excitingly, the WashU Center for Career Engagement operation will be moving to a brand new building called the Neil S. Hirsch Center, which you can see a rendering here on the slide. And this is actually going to be a really innovative space that meets the needs of the Center for Career Engagement team, as well as a one-stop shop for our alumni who are coming back to campus, serving as an alumni welcome center. We are beyond excited for this space, and we think it'll be a dynamic way to engage career into the ecosystem that Nan was talking about, and making sure alums are a large part of that as alums come back and both take advantage of the resources that are available to them, but even more importantly, provides mentoring and internship and job opportunities for our students. And so we're really excited for this. And so the next time you might be on campus, if it's after December of 2026, you will be able to engage in this new space. And we're really excited for that opportunity. So to kind of wrap up, we wanted to highlight a couple key things. If you only remember these things, we think this will be really impactful as you think about your WashU Center for Career Engagement experience. First, there's a true commitment from WashU to career. We have been elevated and positioned from the chancellor and the student and the vice chancellor for student affairs that career is truly being woven into the fabric of this institution. We're a team of about 65 professionals, one of the most well-resourced career centers in the country, so you can feel confident that you can get that individualized experience that you might be looking for. Our career community model, which serves you via your career interest, will be a really easy, engaging way to jump in, and you can join multiple, and you can change that over your time as you continue to navigate forward. Our early engagement model, it'll organically happen for you as you come onto campus and start to engage and see what resources are available, as well as hear what your peers are thinking about. Our experiential learning work that's really trying to fill gaps across many areas where we highlight the many ways to gain experience, whether that be internships, shadowing, micro internships, to really allow students to work into their passion. And lastly, the new Neil S. Hirsch building, we think will really be an innovative space to take advantage of these resources and make sure that you feel like you're navigating towards your future. So saying all of that, we'll leave this slide up just for a second so you can find easy ways to engage with us through our website and through our contact us area. Please reach out to us. I'm gonna pass it to Nan, who's gonna lead us through a little bit of Q&A to answer even some more specific questions that you might have.
Thanks, Danny. So a little context on how we got this list of Q&A. So we looked at all of the previous questions submitted in former years of families and parents webinars. And also we have a lot of families and parents visit our campus. So we also have a running list of questions that families always wanted to know. So we picked some of our top questions, the most frequent asked questions, as you will. And we'll go through as many as we can. So it's kind of like a rapid ball. We'll see how many Danny can answer in the time that we have. But whatever questions that we haven't had the chance to answer, please feel free to reach out to us. The email were listed in the slide that Danny just shared earlier. And we'd love to hear from you. And feel free to stop by. We always have open houses during family and parents weekends. So make sure you can stop by and ask us any questions you like as well. So first question, Danny, when should students engage with the Center for Career Engagement?
Yeah. Thanks, Dan. So early and often, there's never a bad time to start engaging with the Center for Career Engagement. As I mentioned, as an incoming student, you will organically do that through the orientation program. However, from there, it'll often, you will proactively have to take those proactive steps to engage with us. And you can do that through, of course, engaging through the career communities, through meeting a career coach, through coming to drop-ins, to attending the events and programs that we do. And so really engaging early and often can be critical. And while it can feel like, well, I can wait until my sophomore year or to my junior year to do some of those things, the earlier you can make this a priority, the more likely you are to build a really successful plan to find the types of opportunities you might want and build. Plus, things will evolve over your time at WashU related to the things that you're interested in or to the classes that you take. And so we want to have continued conversations with you as you kind of build a path forward. So early and often, it's never too late, and we look forward to serving you in really easy ways to kind of get started.
Great. We also get a lot of questions about employers. So there's a few questions all kind of lumped together. So Danny, here they are. Which employers recruit from WashU? What type of support is available to connect students with employers from different geography areas?
Yeah, great question. So that team of dedicated employer relations and employer development team members are out there doing that every day, really trying to make sure that we're bringing back employers that really meet the needs of our students. And so we do that from a local to global perspective. We, of course, are right here in St. Louis and have strong ties to organizations and to industries served right here in St. Louis and the Midwest. And then we expand out from there. The beauty of the WashU students is they often have many ideas of the types of geographic places they want to go across the country. And so we proactively build relationships there to make sure that those opportunities are available. Even from a global perspective, we have a team member that sits in Shanghai, China, whose job is to really build out both the Asia and global market related to hiring and recruitment and talent acquisition. And so to have someone there really building proactive relationships is powerful. We started recently in the last couple of years a kind of a global virtual career fair where organizations from across the globe were hiring. So we really take kind of that local, regional, national, and global mindset to the work and really look at the needs of our students as we think about building proactive relationships. What recruitment looks like for each company or industry is very different. Meaning how a consulting firm recruits versus how a nonprofit organization here in the St. Louis region recruits are very different. And so if you go to our career communities pages, we often describe those recruitment cycles so that you can kind of get ready for that type of experience and be really competitive in that market. Meeting with a coach early will help you do that. But even if you just go and look at some of those things now, you can start to kind of put together some of the pieces to be successful kind of in the job market. So those are just kind of a few ways we think about bringing the right employers to campus.
Thanks, Danny. Next question. How is the CCE helping students in their search with the use of AI?
Yeah, it's a great question. So this is something that we now think about almost daily, and it evolves daily. So first, we have access to some key tools that are really critical to help students kind of efficiently work through kind of a career development process. First, that would be tools like Big Interview, this is a tool where a student can practice interview for a position virtually, and the tool actually provides some feedback to them without ever a human engaging in that process, right? Another tool that's similar but tangential is VMOC. This is a tool where students can get their resume critiques using AI. They can even put in a specific job description. They can give very specific feedback about how to tailor that resume to that role. And so these tools are really powerful ways to engage AI in the career development process and are all vetted and worked through by the CCE. I'd love to also call out some other things, though, related to AI that I think are critical in the conversation. First, there's a lot of ethical considerations that we help students navigate as they think about how they're using AI in the career development process. And so helping them understand kind of the decisions they make, the prompts that they use, are all really critical as you think about kind of using AI. Also, we're really following closely how AI is disrupting the job market. And as organizations are thinking through how AI is going to affect, what their hiring is going to look like, we're having very dedicated conversations with these employers to understand the implications so that we can get that information to students quickly. I also want to highlight last that employers are often using AI within the hiring recruitment process. Things like AI blockers, where they're looking for resumes that were just solely written by AI. They often will want to throw those out so that they are targeting the students that they felt like put in the right effort for their experiences and are also a right fit. So we just help students navigate and understand those things. And we will continue to follow this conversation because it does evolve almost daily, and we want to make sure we're providing the right guidance to students. So AI from many angles there are things that we're thinking about here in the CCE.
Well, thank you for that very comprehensive overview on AI. So the next group of questions, I should say, are all around this idea of alumni. So there are really three questions. So how do WashU alumni engage professionally with current students? Is there a way for students to connect with alumni? And can recent alumni access the resources offered by the CCE?
Yeah, thank you. Alumni is a population we think about a lot. So first, I'm going to start with the last question, which is how can alumni kind of engage with the resources, excuse me, that are available? First, alumni are provided lifelong career services at WashU. That is a big deal. We really want to call out that any alum can reach back out to us and have a coaching appointment, engage in a career program that we offer, and take advantage of our handshake system, which is where we post all of those job and internship opportunities that I described a little bit earlier. And so that is often not the case at every single institution across the country, and we really like to highlight that we provide that. Now, kind of moving towards how can alumni support or how can we connect students to alums? The WashU network is one of the strongest in the country, and alums want to give back often with their time. To connect with students. And so we do this through a really cool tool called WashU Connects. This is a tool that's just for WashU alums and students to connect. Students can find these alum via what they're doing, what they studied at WashU, what they were engaged in at WashU, to what they're currently doing in their job or even a geographic region. And students can feel really comfortable reaching out to these alums because these alums have specifically signed up to say, I'm happy to have career conversations with students. So that could look like a formal mentoring opportunity. That could look like an informal career conversation. That could be even just a 15 to 20-minute phone call between a student and employer. And our employers really, I apologize, our alums really look forward to these conversations. We also engage alumni back through panels and other programs, but really the most scalable experience we can provide is that platform to connect students and alumni. So again, we think about alums from the kind of the holistic picture, and we really get excited connecting students and alums together. We feel like that's one of our kind of biggest strengths as an organization.
That's awesome to hear. Thank you, Danny. Next question. Is there a database of job opportunities and internships for students to search on? And how can students research the different programs and offerings that we all have?
Yeah, looks like I beat myself to this where I mentioned Handshake earlier, so I'll just dive a little further into that system. So Handshake is sort of that one-stop shop for our students to engage and understand the types of employers that our employer engagement team is building relationships with. And there are always thousands of active opportunities when students log in. Again, an employer when they post a position on Handshake, they click which schools that posting goes to. So when a student sees that from the login via the WashU platform, they know that they can feel comfortable that at least WashU is the school that they're considering for talent. Really, really powerful. We also use Handshake to do almost every single major type of kind of transaction or experience with the center, whether that be scheduling a coaching appointment, understanding when our next career fairs and expos are, understanding all of the types of programs that we offer. We typically offer 200 to 250 per semester for students to take advantage of, as well as our employer-related events when an employer hosts an info session or a coffee chat on campus or virtually. And so it is truly kind of that one-stop shop and a best practice for our students to start engaging. When I mentioned earlier that students will engage through the orientation process, they most likely through that process will engage with Handshake, which will be kind of that first initial opportunity to do that. And it'll be something that we hope they use kind of throughout their time at WashU and then as they navigate into being an alum because they do not lose access to that service.
Thanks, Danny. Truly one-stop shop. That sounds very convenient. Um, so we have a lot of parents and families listening to this recording. And how can parents and family members best help their students if their student is not sure what career they would like to pursue? What do you have, what advice do you have for them?
Man, this is one of my favorite questions because we are really trying to lean into this career exploration as a focus and philosophy here at WashU. We don't want students to feel like they have to come in knowing exactly what they want to do or major in or study and how that intersects with career. We're here to help them navigate that. Plus, Nan, I know you and I could say that we didn't know as we came into college exactly what we wanted to do. So we want that to be the same for our students. So I would encourage your student to join the career exploration career community as sort of a really great natural place to start. And some actions they can take that you can recommend would be meeting with one of our career coaches in that career exploration career community specifically, or to be honest, in any of the career communities as you're thinking about kind of what's available. Also, we offer a career exploration course that all students are available to take that to have a more structured semester long sort of career development kind of exploration process that we have gotten really great reviews from our students who have taken that course. And lastly, I'll call out, like many, we offer career assessments, and our coaches are trained to read those career assessments that can be used as a tool to help you kind of think through that. Now, it'll never give you the specific answer of what you want to do. We're too complicated as humans, and the job market changes too quickly to be able to do that precisely, but it'll give you some language, it'll give you some information that can be really powerful as you think about working into your passion. So those are some things we'd love for you to highlight if your student is a little bit uneasy about the types of career opportunities that they might want to invest in.
Thanks, Danny. This next question we also get a lot, both from families and from students. Is the CC open during any portion of the winter break to assist students who are looking for internships or too busy to visit you all during the semester?
Yeah. So we are open as an operation and office anytime the university is open. So many times during even the winter break, there are most days we are still open as an operation. Yes, we take off the traditional Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day types of days as an operation, but there aren't that many throughout the year where the university is completely closed. So often we're ready to serve virtually in those types of periods where a lot of our students are traveling back home or navigating to somewhere else in the country or globe. And so we're ready to kind of serve you that way. And that's true of the summer break as well. So we are here every single day in the summer serving our students in the many ways that they want to be served. And so taking advantage of those opportunities are really critical. So if the university is open, the CCE is open.
Thanks, Danny. How many career fairs are offered at WashU? Is there a list of confirmed employers who will be at the next career fair?
Yeah, so we offer roughly 10 plus career fairs every year. Some are very specific to an industry or an area, and others are a little broader to really bring in kind of a breadth of employers that we think our students might want to engage in. And so those career fairs are posted on Handshake when they're active and available, and we're taking registrations from employers. So as soon as an employer registers and we confirm them, they are then added to the list in Handshake to where you can start doing research on things like what types of internships or jobs are they recruiting for, which majors are they targeting, are they open to sponsorship, The variety of questions that you might have, we ask them so that you can then search for them and get ready. So the career fairs are sort of a really baseline way to get connected to our employers. And then just do remember that we build really great recruitment strategies for these companies to often either come back and do individual sessions, information sessions, and coffee chats, or virtual engagement where you can engage with these employers throughout the year. So career fairs are kind of a really great baseline way to get started.
Thanks, Danny. You're doing so well. We're gonna have two final questions. I think we can fit all of them in the time that we have. So, second to last question. If a student wants an on-campus job, should they go to the CCE or a different office on campus?
Yeah, we are trying to develop a culture that student employment is a really powerful way to get experience. So kind of start with the data point. Last year, or typically, there's about 6,900 students who are doing some sort of on-campus employment. And so that's a large majority of our students, meaning there's a lot of great opportunities. Through the handshake system, I'm going to become a broken record with that system because it's such a powerful tool. We ask our departments across campus to post those opportunities on Handshake as a great way to get started in recruitment. And then from there, departments will take those applications and run through a recruitment process. We also offer always in the beginning of the fall semester an on-campus student employment fair that is a great first place to start with who's recruiting, what are they looking for? Can I start to build that relationship now, even if I'm not ready to start working right away on campus? A really powerful way to kind of get started. Your career coach can help you navigate things like getting your resume ready, maybe even doing some practice interviews before an interview as another kind of service to take advantage of as you prepare for that. Really, really great opportunities for students to engage. And actually, research says that students that work on campus do really well academically and do really well post-graduation related to career outcomes. So there's some powerful research that says working on campus is a great way to build a skill set.
Awesome. All right, Danny, here's our last question. What should first-year students be doing right now in relation to career readiness? How do you recommend first-year students spend their first summer?
Yeah, great question. So first, I want to start with I think a really important reminder perspective related to career readiness. You're gaining these skills right now already, no matter where you are in your journey. So whether maybe you've been involved through your through high school, you've been on a sports team, you've worked part-time or full-time in some form, you've volunteered. You are gaining skills that are going to make you a really career-ready candidate as you come to campus. So I don't want you to think that sort of the slate is clean when you come to WashU. You're already doing these things, right? So building upon those is really a powerful thing. Your first year, you should really take to explore, to get involved on campus, to maybe take on a student employment opportunity, to take on a leadership role within a club if that makes sense for you. Start to kind of have those conversations. You don't have to have it all figured out. That's the one thing that I want you to remember in this. And how do we recommend you spend your first summer after you come to WashU? In some sort of experiential learning type of experience. Now, that could be an internship, that could be shadowing, that could be doing informational interviewing with alums, that could be working part-time, that could be many things. And so what it means for you is we would love to help you build that plan your first year, right? So coming in, meeting with a coach, having those conversations to help you think about and navigating towards that experience. As I talked about a little bit earlier, just remember that recruitment cycles for different industries are very different. In some cases, your first year is critical to be ready for a sophomore recruitment cycle. And in other cases, you might not have to sort of, apply and interview for things until your, late sophomore, junior year. But it's still powerful to be thinking about the types of experiences that are going to make you career ready. So just using your summer to do something meaningful for your career in whatever form that looks like would be my recommendation.
All right, thank you, Danny. That is the end of our 10 frequently asked questions from families and parents. So I think we're going to end our recording here. But again, families, if you have questions, feel free to stop by our office during the open houses during Family and Parents Weekend and give us a call, email us. We're happy to help you. And then, we're happy to see your students whenever they are ready. All right, thank you all.